are Billy Goat Tails. We love you, fam. Hashtag Givers Gang. 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 We are Billy Goat Tails. We are Billy Goat Tails.
What's going on, Billy Goat Tales fam? So it's Tex-Mex, Biomex here, and we're going to bring you some spicy crypto banter today as we dig into the Bitcoin Breakout Bash. And I'm joined by my co-host, Dave Digital and Redman, to unpack 2025's wildest trends. We got the Pizza Day hype or Pizza Week. We got Trump's crypto dinner drama. The stablecoin bill is heating up, and Bitcoin's 111K peak that we just hit this last week, as well as Bitcoin Vegas secrets and some conversation about the conference that's coming up. So grab your tacos, drop your predictions, and let's moon this thing. So Dave Digital, Redman, what's going on, guys?
Grab my tacos. Why didn't you warn me? I was supposed to bring tacos. Maybe you've got some tacos, Tex-Mex, Biomex, but I'm ready. Let's get it going. I got a little Bitcoin trade going on. Let's go ahead and double check and see what's going on in the trade. I'm in a slight long here. So
you got to show me where to set my.
It's that weekend volume.
What's that?
You got to show me where to do my own research and where to start at.
All right.
All right.
Red, what's going on, Red?
I'm doing good. Thankful for another day not promised. I'm here. I'm ready to roll. Let's get this show started, baby.
And on location for you all, we have our very own Crypto Billy. What's going on, Crypto Billy?
Hey, guys. Yeah, just got into Vegas. Getting all situated here in the room. Lighting is a little off here, but we're just getting set up. But Redman, you got a hot state here, man. It's like 95 degrees outside, or probably hotter. But yeah,
it's a dry heat.
It's
Billy,
a dry
what do you
heat.
mean the lighting's off? It looks beautiful, like that 1970s glow. I mean, it's absolutely perfect.
Wow, chicka, wow, 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 wow.
Digital background from your glasses going to the screen. It's almost like you got those AI glasses.
And I know Vegas is famous for that beautiful carpet in some of their older casinos. Have you seen some of that?
I'm staying in the Luxor, which is now. I mean, I remember when this thing was being built, and it was the talk of the city back in the day. And now it's a little older compared to a lot of these newer, shinier buildings that down here. But hey, I see Pollo's in the chat. Hey, cluck cluck, Pollo. Crypto Princess, Toaster, Joe, good to see you. Our great mod, Andrea, Dutchy, Rusty Bot, we're getting close. Hey, by the way, I've been traveling. I haven't really paid attention today. I saw we were over 3,000 subscribers, which I was like, wow, man, this thing is going. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I checked today. I think we went down to 472 subscribers.
I bet.
No, man, it was, I don't know, I guess Alex O Crypto and his spark that one day, and then from there it just seemed to take off. It was really awesome to see the growth and to see it'll be cool to see the new people in chat.
Shout out to Alex O, shout out to Lifer and Sin City and Frankie, who have been mentioning us, and it's been wonderful to have all those guys in our corner. They reposted our Twitter X post, and they mentioned us on their live stream. And Alex, he did that promo, man, and like that day alone, we picked up 100 subscribers from him. So
yeah.
Did we get an echo? Echo.
Yeah. Is the echo back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna reset my audio. Well, Dave, I'll let you. I'll let you.
Okay.
Dave, I'll let you go ahead and say hi to chat, and I'm gonna mute real quick and see if I can fix my audio.
Sure. Let me scroll all the way back up here. We'll start with Jesse. Just after Red. Red stuck in on you, Jesse. What's going on there? Flashback saying hello. Andy saying happy Memorial Day. We got KSH, Karen in the chat saying, hey, friends. We got Belico, X, Yo-Yo, Givers Gain. Got Dutchy in the chat. I'm sure he's being behaved as usual. We see Flat Smack. We said Flat Smack. CCM, Cryptic Crabman. He said, smash the little light. Well, what's the Trump? Wait, what did he say? Like the title, but what's the Trump drama? Sorry, I thought it said smash the light. He said, but what's the Trump drama? Is that when security forgets to bring him his Diet Coke? Hey, it might be that. Let me see here. Who else do we got? French Toaster. Got Toasty in the chat. Darren does things in the chat. And like we talked about, Crypto Pollo. Cluck, cluck, mutters.
Let's go, DDT.
DDT. Trade Intuition in the chat. What's up, Joe? Playing with those magnets over there by chance? If you know, you know. What's up, buddy? Crypto Princess saying hi. Meet Damien in the chat. Let me see Rusty Bot in the chat. I think we said hi to everybody. Yeah. Hello, everybody. If I missed you, say hey, and we'll get to you on the next go round. Hello to everybody. Givers Gain. Welcome to the Billy Goat Tales live stream.
Well, let's jump right into it. Red, you ready to jump into some bubbles?
Let's blow some bubbles, baby.
Hold on just a second.
Dave's not ready.
Hold on for the bubbles. Yeah,
Push the button.
all right. We're ready for the bubbles.
All right, let's see if I could go ahead and just blow this up for you guys.
Blow it up, Red.
All right, so on the hour, as you can see here, we got virtual up 1%. Virtual's hot. Virtual's hot. I listened to Lifer the other day. He said virtual's hot. I agree with him. Hex up 1%. We got Pith up 1%. We got Jupiter up 0.7%. Let's go on to the daily. Pretty red in the daily. Couple of notables though. You got Hyperliquid showing some strength here over the last month. It's up 112%. If you longed Hyperliquid around, what day is this right here? It won't show me the day, huh? Oh, May 24th. You are sitting pretty good right now. So Hyperliquid up one spot to rank number 11. And let's see what else we got here. What else we got here? Just a bunch of FUD, right? A bunch of buying opportunities. Basically, that's all it is. Buying opportunities. All right, on the weekly, Hyperliquid again. Like I said, 112% for the month. We got WorldCoin here. It's up 20% on the week. We're not big fans of WorldCoin, but hey, if you got it, you know, good for you.
If
You're
you
up
got an
20%.
extra eyeball laying around, just go get it scanned, right?
So we got the privacy. I'll tell you what, look at the we say this every week. I'm sure Seth is happy right now because you know Monero's up 192% for the year. So he is a happy camper. He is a big believer in privacy coins. If you know Seth, if you know Mind Your Biz, I'm sure he is jumping in his seat right now looking at this price appreciation here for Monero. Nothing else really notable. SPX is a meme coin. We don't care about memes. Aave. Let's look at Aave. Ooh, Aave. Aave's holding this line right here. What is this? The 250s? Wow,
that looks like that could be fun.
I mean, this is support right here. This is support. You know, I mean, it just looks like accumulation up into the next pump. And I know Jimmy's happy. It's up 149% for this year. It's up 3 spots. That's Aave sitting at 262.53. So congratulations to anybody that got into Aave. On the monthly, let's see what else we got. We got Virtuals up 101%. We got Dog Whiff Hat. We got Pingu up 43%. ETH. I mean, you know, ETH, same thing. This is accumulation right here. This is accumulation for ETH. There's a lot of people dogging ETH, and it is back into strength. So we'll see what happens with ETH over the next couple of months. Pepe, A lot of people talking about Pepe right now. There's that big trade, that big trader. I forgot his name. Dave probably knows. But yeah, that guy had $1.2 billion trade in Pepe that worked out. Pepe's up one spot to number 26.
Looking double toppy on a lot of stuff, right?
Could be. Let's see here. Virtuals is up 1,682% for the year. H bar is up 70% for the year. XLM is up. XLM kind of doing that bearish, but a little bit of accumulation here in the last couple of days for XLM. We could see something out of it. It's up 19 spots for the year. That's pretty good. XRP, there's a bunch of XRP people out there. We're still sitting in this range for XRP. I know XRP is a good coin to range trade on. I know a lot of people who range trade XRP. It's up 3 spots to number 4, sitting at $135 billion market cap. So that's not too bad. Sui's a fan favorite. There's a lot of people talking about Sui right now. They all say that it's going to overtake Solana. I don't know about that one, but it's doing pretty good. It's up 233% for the year, even though they just had that hack recently. That pretty much does it for the bubbles. I'll send it back over to you, Tony.
You still got the echo, Dave?
Check, 1,
Yeah.
2. Checky, 1, 2. Nope, it's
We're
clear.
good. All right, fam. Well, it seems like sometimes we get this echo. Yep. That's where that came from. Dave, did we finish saying hi to the chat? I know Billy said hello to some folks, but I don't know if we caught everybody yet.
Yeah, we went down the list. Did you see? I see Jimbo showed up in the chat. What's up, Jimbo Vet out there collecting bounties? We have Darcy Donovan in the chat. Stardog is probably
Darcy's
really
in here.
close.
Good to see you. Darcy, I didn't see her. I didn't see her name.
Yeah, Jay Biley in the chat. Nightbot showed up. Welcome, Nightbot. I think
Star Dogs are our family. They are our family over here at Billy
they
Goat
definitely
Tail. So
are.
it's great to see
Harp
her.
in the chat, throwing up his goats. Their goats, maybe I should say. I think we said hi to everybody else. Hello again, everybody. Hello. If we didn't say hi to somebody, say hi and we'll say hi.
Hola. Well, let's get into the coin market cap. If you want to lead us off, Dave, I'll jump into it.
All righty.
All right, so we've got a coin market cap here. We're looking at about 3.38 trillion, which is slightly down 1.385%, but we're still pretty high on the week, up 3.45% on Bitcoin, bitty Bitcoin. Ethereum's up 5.25%. And in the 24 hours, we've seen a little bit of drop, but you know that 111 top that we had just on the 22nd or 23rd, that was pretty nice. Kind of goes along with that 111 we got going on the Givers Gain 111 channel, so that kind of lines up there. And we're all, of course, you know, Billy's already there, and Jimbo's on his way to the Bitcoin conference, and the rest of the team. Well, Red's been in Vegas; he's our hype man on the scene, and Dave and I are flying in Monday, so we're excited for that. But let's continue to go down. XRP is down on the week, actually, almost 3%. BNB is up 4%. Solana up 2%, and just about everything's flip-flopping from red to green on the hourly and the daily a little bit. Not really popping too much either direction. Cardano on the week is up 2.85. Love me some Cardano. And then Sui, as Red was talking about, is actually down 6.82 on the week, but maybe we got a little bit of green candles going. So let's jump over and look at some of the categories that we do often. And we talked about rehypothecated crypto, which is basically people taking loans on crypto. It's actually down at the moment, 1.37%. But the wrapped W Doge, don't know anything about it, DYOR is up 73.12%. And on memes, we're down 3.5%. So it looks like a lot of red coming in, except for the internet capital markets. Once again, maybe we'll look to see what that actually entails and bring you some knowledge the next time. AI and big data are down, and real world assets are down. ECTA, interesting. ECTA's up 40%. And then gaming is down slightly, almost down to 4%. So, and DPIN, remember DPIN, Dave, you and I talked to a lot of people at the Consensus Conference last year about DPIN. And so, yeah, where else are we at? What's the, sorry, let me get back to the main screen. Got to look at the fear and greed. Fear and greed is at 67. So fear and greed at 67. I mean, we've been hovering in the 60s the last couple weeks, 70s before that. And then, of course, you know, before the big pump, we were down in the teens and the 20s, I believe. So fear and greed is still on the positive side of things. So I'm not sure if that means you should get ready to dump or get ready for a pump. But either way, let's continue to watch that. So anything else you guys want to touch on this?
No, it's good to see fear and greed come down a little bit. It's going to make some good entries for us. And I think, who was it, Dave, earlier saying, or maybe as you, Tony, about Ethereum, you know, long on Ethereum. I actually went in and got me a piece of more for the HODL bags when it dipped down, back down again. I got me some more. I think Ethereum's going to be a long play. When it got to 1,800, I bought some, and that worked out really great. It dipped back down again. I got a little bit more. So I think Ethereum, you know, when we're talking about the cycles, again, everyone knows my position. I've been saying that the 4-year cycle is not broke. It's still intact. And I'm not a believer that there's 36 million cryptos now, and therefore the alt season isn't going to happen. The way I look at that is, all of the people that created alt seasons in the past were Bitcoin prophets going in and buying out coins. And 4 years ago, there was 22,000 altcoins. This year, this time, there's 36 million. So people say it's going to get watered down. What my belief is on that is that those same people that are going to take their profits from Bitcoin, they're going to go into Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Chainlink. So even though there's 36 million of them, those 35.9 of them are meme coins that nobody's going to touch. So I really think we still are going to have a altcoin push. Now, I am also a believer that, you know, we're going to have lower tops and lower, you know, higher bottoms, so to speak. So as this Bitcoin as it matures, right? Like any market maturity, market cycle, it's going to not be as steep and not be as rigorous as it has been in the past. But I think we're going to have an altcoin season. So I put that out there. We'll see who's right. We'll see who's wrong. It's really not even about being right or wrong. It's just about my investment thesis and how I'm investing in it. And I'm investing in it as if we're going to have the 4-year cycles intact, and I'm investing in it as there's going to be an altcoin season. And if I'm wrong, those positions are still very good positions, right? So when you have a long position in Solana, when you have a long position in ETH, when you have a long position in Chainlink, when you have a long position in some of these, you know, top coins, Cardano, really the worst case scenario of all that, you're going to have to wait another 4 years, right? But I just for my own self, for my own investment thesis, that's how I've been playing it. And so far, remember when it went down to 78,000, when Bitcoin went down to 78,000, we had a lot of people started thinking that we might have seen the top at 109. And I wasn't one of those people, right? I said anything's possible, but I'm playing this. My investment thesis is going to be that it's going to come back. You know, we're going to keep going. We're going to set a new all-time high. So, but it isn't about being right or wrong, because none of us know. If I knew, you know, I wouldn't be standing at the Luxor right now. I'd be standing at the top of the Venetian in the penthouse suite, right? So, but yeah, it's been a fun ride. Let's see what happens.
Sure thing.
Proud.
Well, Redman, I think we've got a special guest here today. Do you want to intro our guest? Well, we might give him a little more time. we'll give them a little more time. I think they're away from their computer, but we have DDT. We can bring up DDT and say hello, and then we'll do a little bit of charting here in a little bit. What's going on, DDT? How are you?
DT.
What's going on,
Evening,
DDT, brother?
afternoon, wherever you are in the world, morning.
That sounds is a little bit full.
Too loud?
You got some bongo drums
You
going
got
on.
some beats going on in the background too. It sounds like
That is
liquidation
okay.
bubbles.
Give me 1 minute.
All right. Do you want to? Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, so I just want to say hi to you, DDT. Let you say hi to the chat. Just bring you up real quick because we do have our special guest coming up, and then we will bring you back up, DDT, to go through some charts. But just wanted to say hello to you, brother, and actually fill a little bit of time. But y'all know that. All right, so we'll catch you in a little bit, DDT. And Red, why don't you go and intro our guest?
Yeah. So today we got a little special feature for you guys. We Billy and I both were actually talking to him at the same time. He was recommended by a friend. This is the developer of Telestai, and Telestai aims to decentralize social media, basically through proof of work. So let's bring up Chief for us. This is Chief from Telestai. Go ahead and just give us an A through Z analysis of what your project is trying to do.
Yeah, look, thanks for having me on. It was just taking care of some of the kids at the moment, so it's the rat race in our home at the moment. Basically, Telestai is a proof of work mainnet. So essentially, we're similar to say Ravencoin or Bitcoin in the sense of we've got obviously machines that are creating consensus on the network. We're GPU centric, so that means that what we're trying to do is trying to keep GPUs as the primary means to keep that network decentralized. And what we're doing is we're essentially building out social media on a node-based platform. Now, what that means is we're essentially creating a means from an infrastructure point of view to ensure that our social media network and our social media platform doesn't, one, go down, so we don't have any server issues, and two, we're not controlled as a centrally located organization. So that's where we differ a little bit from some of the other platforms that are online, say Facebook or Instagram or Twitter for that matter. We're a little bit different in that sense. So happy to kind of go into detail, but that's sort of where we start from. So yeah.
Yeah, so the big thing with me was I was just trying to figure out, because I was kind of reading, I was going through your project, and I saw that you guys are highly against the censorship part of Twitter and Facebook, and I kind of, that resonates with me because I've had 4 different X profiles get deleted in the past because I said something that didn't agree with other people. Mainly those that ran Twitter, so they would just censor me. And then I would have to, the workaround is start a new email and do all this other things. But that's not really free speech though. And so, I kind of appreciate you guys and what you're trying to do for the decentralization part. I don't think that's a topic that's talked about enough in our space, and people, they kind of gravitate towards price discovery and they forget all about the kind of genesis reasons of why we have crypto in the first place. And it was funny because, in this introduction that I wrote, it says, just as Bitcoin has liberated the financial sovereignty for millions around the world, Telestai holds a vision for liberating the internet through services designed to keep them immutably independent. Now that's humongous. That's humongous for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, a centralized entity can't control what everybody says and how everybody feels. We don't have thought police, right, running around. And I think that's humongously important because I'm able to be myself, just like Tony's able to be himself, just like Dave's able to be himself. We don't have to worry about being, silenced for any way. So I think that's humongous. And if you could talk about that a little more, that'd be great.
Absolutely. This is the guts of it, really, and this is the stuff that I actually really enjoy talking about, because I think it's a societal issue, and I think it's a cultural issue that we need to tackle, or we will risk losing the opportunity to have conversations like what we're having today. So that's sort of the bedrock of why we're doing what we're doing. Is these conversations are important, no matter what they are, and these conversations need to be allowed to be done in a way where we don't fear that someone's going to ban us. So that's the first part to it. The second part to it is, how do I phrase this correctly? It's within this conversation. There's some social boundaries which we are abiding by, I guess you would say. Like there's politeness. Like, I'm not sitting here swearing my head off. You're not doing the same. You're not calling me names. You're not throwing up pictures of nude people, things like that. There's some stuff that's actually going on in the conversation that we both understand and know, and as a group are kind of abiding by. So we do that because we understand what's appropriate and what's not. Okay. And generally speaking, in decentralization, the first proponents of decentralization are people who understand that. And then the second proponents of decentralization are the people who wish to get around that. And this is kind of the boundary issue that we engage with often. So Satoshi, when he came along, wished to decentralize finance, and he successfully just did that by helping to create Bitcoin. Then we've got these meme coin pump and dumps, which are an absolute perversion of his vision and has nothing to do with decentralized finance whatsoever. So I suppose let's call that in the boundaries and out of the boundaries. So the pump and dumps are out of the boundaries, and what Satoshi did is in. That paradigm, I believe, is understood and very well articulated in terms of the way Bitcoin is designed. Proof of work means you don't have a liquidity pool that you can just yank. Bitcoin means that your keys, your coins, no one can take them from you. There's no rollback mechanism unless there's general consensus, but that's a whole let's not go down that path. Yeah. Bitcoin means that you basically get to do as you wish within the boundaries and the rule set that Satoshi has created. Okay. With social media, you walk the fine line where there are some things within human circles that we, as a generally 99% of us, dislike. So I'm not a fan of OnlyFans is probably the best way to say it. So I don't want my platform to kind of have that on there, so there's got to be some mechanisms to guard against that. And this is what we call in the manifesto that we wrote, mostly decentralization. There are some fair rules that we need to design in order to keep people safe. We don't want particular material that I don't say it on streams because everyone knows what I mean when I say it, but we don't want that material. We don't want excessive violence. We don't want OnlyFans type material being on there. They're the things that we wish to guard against. Okay, so that's the stuff that we have to work hard to prevent happening. Partly because as a father to 6 kids, I don't want to build a platform that my kids would look at and go, that's just a degenerate platform. And partly just from the perspective of there are people who are taking advantage in those situations that I want to protect them as much as possible. So we've really struggled to not struggled, but worked hard to build out that concept of how do we build a social media platform that is safe and secure and has those sort of boundaries that people are aware of and understand. So that's our level of decentralization that we're working for. We've done that by implementing AI as an initial moderator. Now, this is probably, I think, one of the better uses of AI. It's actually doing something useful, and it's actually keeping people safe. It helps to prevent excessive swearing and content creation from a text point of view. It will soon scan all of our media and review it to make sure that there's no nasty stuff that we want to keep out. A little bit like when you upload a YouTube video and it scans it. Our AI will actually scan it. So in that sense, we're going to basically let people have rule of the roost. There will be some required moderation pieces. So if you want to own a node, you have to essentially have promoted to certain power levels moderators, and they will have to kind of agree to do certain things, because AI, as good as it is, something will slip through, and we need to make sure that action is taken accordingly. But that kind of communal moderation means there's no centralized voice telling you what you can and can't say. Unpopular opinions are unpopular, and that's fine. But if you can't argue against it, and if you can't engage with it, it kind of just sits there. You know what I mean? People need to see it for what it is. If you're going to be a fool, you're publicly going to be a fool. So we're going to allow people to, have that level of rope, so to speak.
Right. So, so just to go back to the project, is the infrastructure for the actual social network, is it up and running, or where are we at as far as, I know there's a coin associated with it, but
Yep. So that's a great question. We have all the infrastructure up and running for our public beta. You can sign up. So we use what we call a digital fingerprint, which is called Zeroa. That is essentially a BIP 39 web wallet that's built into a Chrome extension. You basically sign up with that wallet. It takes and uses the signature base to sign in. That, how Bitcoin has that signature piece where you can sign a transaction. Basically, it uses that element on our network to sign into Lasco, which is our social media platform. And essentially, your identity is yours. There's no metadata associated with it that you haven't put there. There's nothing that we're scanning or taking. So that's the other part of this whole piece that we're very passionate about, is your data, your keys, your data, basically. So it's live. The AI is functional. It currently keeps people honest with what they're posting, which is fine. It's probably a little bit tuned too high, and we've done that simply because we're a public beta, and we're just trying to work out, what's the right setting to have it up and on. But we're in the process of sort of rolling that all out.
I'll go ahead and just so our chat knows, and everybody out there that's listening, I'll go ahead and put the link for Telestai's Discord. I'll put that in the chat right now. You guys go ahead and give them a follow. And then I'll put the Telegram link in there as well in just a second. And so if they follow the Telegram, what can they expect from your Telegram channel? Because, some channels I go into, and it's basically like pump and dump stuff, and what's the new shiny thing that's out there that everybody can make money off of. So what kind of content would people expect?
It's a little bit quieter because we focus on trying to show what we're doing dev wise. So essentially we're old school in that sense. We believe in building, and that's where a lot of our resources is pointed at the moment, is building. I do a lot of the stuff like talk to community leaders like yourself, and sit down and have a conversation, tell them what we're doing, because we want people to know, obviously. But we basically have a chat around what's going on with the coin. We have a conversation around, what are the next steps. We have some links to our GitHub in the Discord, which we show as well. Essentially, we're pretty laid back. So it's not as active as we potentially would like it to, and that's simply because we're not, pummeling people 24/7 with links and what have you. But the idea is to build slow and build well. So my dad always used to say, measure twice, cut once, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. Is that whole, if you build the foundations correctly, things will take place in the right way. And that's kind of what we're looking to do. So we don't buy followers. We're not buying, Telegram users to come in and basically buffer our numbers. That's not what this is about. So
for my miner friends out there, the algorithm runs off of Meraki, right? Is it Meraki? Is that how you say it?
That's
okay. It. And Meraki is GPU based, or is it ASIC based?
It's GPU based and solely GPU based. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys are running GPUs out there, you can start mining this coin. I think there's 1.97 billion, right? Is that the total? The max?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, and you're pretty early as well. So we haven't had our first halving yet. We've got about another 3 years before that takes place. Wow. So there's a fair amount of room to go from a mining point of view, and we're at a low hash rate at the moment. So if people are very interested, they do well to get on. The whole point around doing it with Meraki is we adjusted the settings on the actual mining algorithm itself to resemble a little bit like what Ethereum used to be. So very lightweight. It's not heavy on the actual GPU. That means your power consumption's down because we wanted it to be easy for people to pick up and plug and play. People get some pretty good efficiency out of it, but we also have the benefit of it's GPU mineable only. The algorithm itself holds tight to that. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of GPUs. I was a GPU miner for a long time. Now I just solo mine Bitcoin, but because ETH and Caspa, ETH went to stake and Caspa went to ASIC and kind of priced me out of the whole market. So I just didn't go back, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are still GPU mining, and this would be one of those coins you should get your hands on. Start mining it now. Like you said, it's 3 years till the next halving. So I also noticed that you guys also have a privacy focused web browser. Is that out? Is that up and running?
Not quite yet, but we're sort of in the midst of discussing that. So a little bit like what Brave does, but our bent is going to be that the browser itself will be much more attuned to the ecosystem and sort of working with what we've got. So our focus is building an ecosystem, not just building one product. We think that there's a need to have an ecosystem because there's certain things and certain tools that everyone uses on the internet that we personally believe need to be kind of handed back to the people. So your data, for instance, is one of those. So our focus is twofold on that. Number one is we don't take it. And number two is if you wish to sell it, you're entitled to do it. And we're going to provide you with the ability to do that. So that is one piece that we think it's going to be interesting to people because, so often on your internet experience, when you're on a social media platform, you just know that you're the user. That you're the product. People are taking what you have and selling it, and that's how they make money. We wanted to give people that opportunity to sell their own data. And we think that's compelling for a number of reasons. One, it'll be real time. So advertisers can actually purchase it as you're actually scanning. So they can basically group together a bunch of users who conform to a certain number of characteristics that they're wanting to look at. They buy the data and then they pay directly to the user themselves. So we think that's actually compelling from an advertiser's perspective. They get to see what's actually going on. That's pretty cool. The second bit is we also feel like that's how you introduce more people into the ecosystem. You should give them a chance to actually earn, even if they can't mine, and that's kind of compelling. I think that's the way it was designed.
Yeah, I was talking to normies this week that aren't even into crypto. They don't have anything to do with crypto, and they're talking about live streaming, just playing games, just to make extra loot on the side. So that is very lucrative. That's going to get a lot of people starting to use their own content and make money off of it, and it could become a second job for them, which I 100% understand. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for him, Billy. I don't know if you've got some questions for him on your side.
So I'm glad, Chief, you kind of went over the features, advantages, and benefits for our audience. So, like, really, what is it about? What does it mean? And that last piece right there, I think you hit it pretty good there, explaining that, hey, if you don't know what the product is, you are the product, right? So in your situation here, you're flipping that over, which is really what Web3 is all about, right? It's what it should be all about, right? So to have a service like yours, a protocol like yours, is exactly what is needed. So no, man, good job. I'm glad we got a chance to bring you up and at least educate our audience. We're not an organization that shills any particular coin or project, but what we're trying to do is educate everybody. And when we run across a good project like yours, we certainly want to make sure that our community, if they're interested, can go and check out your socials and jump into it and see what you guys are all about. So I appreciate you taking the time with 6 kids too, man. God bless you, man. I mean, that's a full load right there, brother. So
Yeah. Look, no, thank you so much for that. And I think the other part that I just wanted to quickly touch
Yeah,
on
man,
is
hit it.
the whole project is designed to tell stories. So what I mean by that is we want to be creator focused. So guys like you, like you've built your own channel, you've got your own little community going, and it's working for you, right? Like that's something that I'm very passionate about. The thing that is frustrating for me when I watch for you guys is YouTube takes all your content, very happy for everything that you're doing for them. They don't pay a dime. And that just riles me right up. I hate that. I think that's just theft, really, because people are coming to the platform to see you guys, not to see anything else, right? So what we're building, and this is kind of critical to the whole side of it, is we're actually going to allow people like yourselves to build your own communities. They'll connect into the main Lasco node, which is, everyone will be able to talk and everything. But for people who want your specific content, they'll have to actually sign up to your node. And within that, we're going to give you guys the ability to sort of say, if you want to charge for it, that's your decision. If you don't want to charge for it, that's also okay. But for creators that want to make content their deal for what they're earning, they'll get full commercial rights to it. So we won't take a cent. Our back end covers everything from how we've remunerated from ourselves to help build the project, but we never take a dime. Basically, you get everything that you want from that point of view, and it'll be paid out in TLS, obviously. But our perspective is usage of chain is what will drive price, and that will end up being able to support the buy and the sell pressure on both sides at a fairly stable price. So yeah, that's the kind of the point, is you guys will actually get the chance to go, all right, well, even if it's a cent, right? Like you charge a cent per subscriber, it's probably more than what you're getting from YouTube at the moment. So, that's sort of the point.
Yeah, we just really are getting started here. So we're a small community right now, but we're growing. We're growing pretty handedly right now. So, but yeah, all that stuff like that makes sense because we want to get started on the right foot. And man, that's really endorsing Web3. That protocol is way better than what's out there right now with Web2 and YouTube. I mean, even the channels that we're plugged into and kind of behind the scenes know what the dollars and cents look like. Even for these big channels, they don't make a lot of money on YouTube from a monetization standpoint. It's even the memberships and things like that. YouTube, you get 70%, they take 30. So it's crazy. That's like, where else? That's just kind of highway robbery, if you ask me. But hey, that's where channels like or programs like Rumble, platforms like Rumble are coming in and starting to steal some of that market share. Because YouTube is pretty greedy.
Absolutely, 100%.
What else? Anything else that you want to go over, Chief? That
no, that's pretty much a good intro to it. So thank you so much for the time. And I'm really excited to kind of have another chat with you guys about it. I think what we want to do is be a protocol that is building for the people and actually building with an intention to make things better for them. We're very much a Web3 protocol. We don't want things to be, on our side owned. As much as possible, it's going to be passed back on to the user. But yeah, that's basically us. We're not we're ground up, we're community built. But we think that's an asset to us. We think we're it's something that's important, is to start from the ground up and move. So yeah, that's sort of our ethos at the moment.
Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
Fair income. So Chief, I threw in the fair income. I was an exchange student in Australia for 7 months over in Bundaberg, Australia. So I loved it there.
Love it.
But Jay Violet in the audience is from, I think, Western Australia. So, but no, I'm looking forward to, at least we got a little bit of an introduction to what you all do. And for those of you who are watching now, or maybe watching later, we're going to have Chief on Tuesday night on our X Space, on the Billy Goat Tales X Space. So please do your research, dig in, find out more, and then bring your questions. If you don't want to come up on stage, you can throw them in the Discord, you can throw them in the X comments when we have our space on Tuesday. So look forward to that, and look forward to getting to get to know you more, and maybe have the community questions come up. But I really love what you're doing, and I think it'd be useful for us to maybe dig in as a project, maybe, and see if that could work for us in the future. But really appreciate your passion and what you're doing there.
Thanks so much.
Australians and Texans, I'm a Texan. Australians and Texans get along really well. So
Yeah, and
Mate,
Chief,
I think they're the same.
Chief, sorry about the confusion. We were debating on how we're going to do this at the Bitcoin show, so I apologize for the little mix-up. We are going to, on our Tuesday space, have a YouTube running as well. So it's set up as an X space. But anyways, we were kind of running by the seat of our pants there, trying to decide which way we're going to go. So I appreciate your patience on that, man. Thank you.
Nah, no problem at all. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it's great to sort of be talking with, people that are interested in what we're doing. So appreciate it all the time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And we just wanted to get you out there, get you in front of our community, because I appreciate proof of work coins. I appreciate the decentralization part of it. And I know a lot of people in our chat do too.
Yeah, and I think that's why we wanted to be GPU focused is we want people to have the ability to participate. So ASICs, generally speaking, they push out the standard person by virtue of the setup is expensive. It's the machinery is it's kind of exclusive in a way, like you can't get access to it. Whereas this way you can walk down to a local electronics store, buy a GPU, and boom, you can set it up in 20 minutes basically. So in my mind, I think that's kind of the that's the real benefit to the whole thing.
And I appreciate the fact that you're very busy in your Discord. I see you in there a lot. So just know that if you join their Discord, he's going to be in there. If you got questions on the project, he'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, I think that's the other part, right? Like if you're gonna start something, you got to be around, right? Like there's I've seen a lot of founders they start these projects and then they sort of disappear into the ether. I'm like, where have you gone? So yeah, that's an interesting one. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a vision that I've been working on for about 18 months. Zach, who's our head dev, is seriously talented guy. But he and I have great discussions about how do we do this, and we're always trying to weigh things up in a way that's people focused. And I think at the end of the day, it's not all about the tech. The tech is wonderful, 100% back the tech, but it's about the purpose, right? And I think if we lose sight of why Satoshi did what he did, we never really understood. We don't understand the gravity of what he's achieved, in that sense. And I think all projects need to be a little bit like that. They need to think about the why. Why are we doing this, and what's the purpose behind this?
That's a Billy statement right there. Billy says it all. Know your why. So yeah, we totally 100% agree with you, man. It's a pleasure having you on. Thank you for answering my questions. Sorry for the mix up. We'll have you again on. We'll learn more about you.
No worries. Have a great time, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother.
all right. You know that on the Billy Goat Tales, the Givers Game 111 channel, we're about proof of work, not proof of talk. So thank you for coming on, Chief, and I'm glad that you were here with us. You like that, Red Man?
Tony coined that phrase.
He did.
It's pow, not pot. See, that's good in other ways too, kids. All right, so Billy, you want us to get on to the next topic, or we want to say hello to chat again? You want us to jump in there and say hello?
Yeah, well,
to those that are in the chat.
Let's see, who do we got here? We got Alexandra G. All set's back in here. Good to see you. We got Pole Boy and Pole Man. That's Pole Man's son. Great. And Mrs. Pole Man, or Mrs. Pole Man. Got the whole family. Hopefully I'll get to meet them all in October. Matter of fact, Dave Digital, it might be a nice place to slide in.
Meet the Pope.
Oh, you want me to slide into your DMs?
Slide into the October 10th through the 13th, since you need full instruction today.
Dave's gonna slide in them DMs.
Will we be sharing a bed, Billy, or
I don't.
Well, like you all know, we're going to the fall for Greenville because it's what, Billy?
A
It's a
booty,
foodie.
booty,
Booty event.
booty event.
Foodie event. We love Billy saying that.
Yep,
And
yep,
Jimmy
yep.
loves copying that, but he's not here with us today live. And so we're going to go check out the Taste, Tunes, and Taps at the Fall for Greenville event. That's on the Saturday, correct? And then we're going to be at Lake Hartwell for most of the time. I'm going to share this tab here instead. So there's some views from Lake Hartwell. This is from some VRBO site, so it's not necessarily where we're staying, but
What's going on
it
there?
does
Wait, what's going on there, Tony? Was that Doc thinking?
What?
Was that Doc thinking?
What's Doc's thinking?
The dock, was it sinking on the previous
Oh, I
picture?
have no idea. Man, I have no idea. I was looking at the lake. Maybe.
No, that's just
It's
the
floating away.
that's just the ramp.
I
It's
think
got a
somebody
bow in
needs to save them.
It does
So
look
this is-
that does look similar to when you guys get to the lake house.
What's my kitchen doing in there?
It does look similar to that though.
So we're
About-
not staying at this place, which is what we showed you earlier, previously, where we'd all have to share one one bed. I thought this would be appropriate since, Billy gets a little cringe when we do
That's
stuff like
Dave's. That's where we're putting Dave.
That's where
Billy's
me and
here to
Billy
keep
are
us all in
sleeping.
check today.
I'm waiting for it. That's the special.
That's where
the
we'll put
special-
Dave.
In the outhouse.
If we're gonna be sleeping next to each other, I hope you wear socks. I don't want those claws to get me.
Got
There
my
you go.
Billy
So-
Goat tail socks on.
Going to Lake Hartwell. And the reason we're showing you all this is because Po-Man actually
That's why you
won
need
the
to
trip
save
to
those
join
people.
us.
Oh, peoples.
You need to
Po-Man
save
won
them.
the trip to join us by holding what, Billy?
Yeah, NFT. Paul Man jumped
NFT.
into, and it's great that he did because he ended up winning. So you have to get the NFT to be a part of our annual trip giveaway and to also to get into our Discord. We're not going to charge a monthly fee for our Discord. What we're going to do is have Redman's research in there. So we're going to be researching and we find these cool, interesting projects and these cool, interesting coins in Web3 and also the investment side of it, which is what I do. I put a lot of my investments in there. Really stuff that I don't share out with everybody. It's really a lot of the actual stuff that I'm doing and stuff I'm buying, the trades I'm making. So that's in there too. But you got to own one of our NFTs, and that's just going to be it. And it's like $25, and that's it. There's not reoccurring purchases. It's not a monthly fee or anything like that. It's we don't guarantee that our NFT is going to go up. It could go to zero. The key is that you have to have the NFT to get in to that. So it's not really an investment for a price appreciation. It's an investment into the Billy Goat Tales community long term. And so,
Well, and our NFT is like a DPIN project. Why? Because it's a real world thing that you can use and learn and grow from, right? So,
yeah, you actually get value out of it. I mean, it's really cost effective, and we're going to keep it that way because that's what we're all about.
Mm-hmm.
on the Billy Goat Tales website, if you click on that NFT mint info, you can go here. You can go and mint one for yourself. It's 20 Cardano if you have a speaker pass and you had that. If not, it's still only 25 Cardano per NFT, which is still a steal. You can click that link and then you come right back to our website and there's a book reader and you attach your Cardano wallet and you'll be able to read the chapters from there. And so each NFT has access to 3 chapters out of our 30 chapter book. The first 10 are personal professional development topics. The last, and then there's 5 chapters, which are still similar topics because we did book reviews on some leadership books as well as the Bitcoin Standard. And then we had a whole bunch of crypto topics and interviews. We had a special chapter, which is on Crypto Lifer and doing a deep dive into him. And then we had one on Crypto Crow. We did talk crypto taxes. We talked about how to create meme coins. What are some of the other topics? We did crypto security with Mind Your Biz, of course, our one of our favorite crypto security experts. And so there's a whole lot of information in there. Not only that, it was crowdsourced with 172 people giving input. A lot of you here in the chat gave some input, and every single person that talked in the book or gave some content on those X Spaces that we used to record it and create the book, we give you credit. And all of our YouTube friends, there's the link in the appendix where you can find those YouTube channels as well. And week 8, we had a special appearance from none other than the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, talking about emotional intelligence. So the links are in the very back of the book, too, in the appendix, to go listen to those Twitter spaces. That one with Charles was like 4 hours, and he got on a lot of topics. So that was really good.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, when Frankie was on one,
Yeah, Frankie was on.
right. Rice was on one. We had a lot of the creators came in.
Randy, Miss Teen Crypto was on so many of them.
Big
We had,
supporter, Alex
Bruce.
O. Yeah.
Andrea's got a really
Watching
good
the Twitter?
question in the chat.
What's
She
Andrea
says,
got in the
"Why,
chat?
if you are a red man, is your background blue?"
Ooh. Are you colorblind? I am.
She's got the deep
I-
questions right.
You know why? Because that's the cypherpunk background. So that's just what came up with. Obviously, if you look at me, I'm red. So you'll know me when you see me. That's Redman, because that guy's red as I'll get out. So you'll know who I am when you see me in the convention. Andy, too bad you're not coming. I'm sad. I was hoping that you'd come this year, but maybe next year.
I think I'm going to be able to
Anybody-
spot Golden from just the one photo that he's ever published where his face was blurred out. I think his shape is spottable.
Mm.
His shape is spottable.
Yeah, because you didn't see his face in the one
That's
picture that I saw of him. He was just dressed real nicely in a suit. Maybe it was a tux, but I think you can spot his frame. Like, I think it's got some unique characteristics. We're gonna see. if I can
We
spot
got Shake and Bake in the chat. Tradefly, what's going on? Tradefly, good to see you. Thanks for stopping
Trade
in,
flag
man.
got it right. Red, white, and blue.
Trade fly.
right.
What's up? Well, do we want to jump into today's first other topic
I think
outside of our?
DDT, is he still with us? We got to bring some DDT up. He's been waiting patiently.
Yeah.
What's going on, DDT?
Evening, I'm back. Does this sound okay?
Sounds
Well,
good.
Yeah,
it's
there was a bit of
still like the bongo drums. I think it's almost like the squelch is high on your mic or something.
No, that's the liquidation balls, isn't it?
Is that any better?
Yeah, we can't hear him now.
Uh,
No,
Can you
we
hear the
hear him.
vacuum in the back of my head?
give me 1 minute. Might
It
be
sounds
a bit
like Tom
soft.
Brown's stream whenever he has those little, or maybe it's Lifers, whoever does those
Is that
liquidation.
better? How's that?
Turn up just a little bit.
I think they're
I
gone.
Can't, because it's on auto. It's when I go into manual adjustment. I think that's when it's causing the issues.
You sound
I don't
good
hear
though. I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't hear the balls anymore, or the sound.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I can hear it now when I'm monitoring it. Yeah, okay. So I have to use automatic adjust volume. It's not allowing me to manually adjust. Okay, cool. Sorry, technical issues over. Hopefully that's okay. I'll scream a bit louder, and hopefully people kind of will project my voice a bit more. Yeah. So let me share charts. Hope everyone is good. Bitcoin is slightly pulling back since Friday. Oh, come on. Let's do that one. So yeah, I've just pulled my charts up. So yeah, just quick top-down analysis. Monthly, still got the green dot printing on market Alpha B. Still got, we're still engulfing kind of all the kind of bearish local last tops before we had to pull back into the 70K zone, 74. And obviously we've had other green dots, so three-week green dot, 2-week green dot with green money flow. 1 week is looking a bit weak, where the money flow is starting to come down a bit, but it's like literally with this last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it started to give up. So the things that are probably of concern, which probably aren't really a concern in the interim, just because we're in quite a bullish uptrend. So yes, we are going to get higher time frame red dots on market Cypher B. So yeah, we've got a 3-day red dot printing. We've got a 2-day red dot printing. On Friday, sorry, we did have this money flow kind of come into the green, and then now it's faked back to the red. So Friday, literally, it went from red to green, but then obviously faked out and confirmed red. It's rolling over a bit now, kind of curving over, and also as well, the VWAP is kind of quite heavily pointing down. So that doesn't really, it's not really a good sign for kind of upside or kind of a big pump out of nowhere at this point specifically. But obviously the daily and the 2-day, the money flows and the momentum waves, they move a lot slower and oscillate a lot slower than kind of the lower time frames. The things I am looking at, basically, when I pull this up, we have a range from here, which was from like in January, a few days in January, just a local top where the previous all-time high was. We have extrapolated the levels and pushed the levels across. So we have a value area low at say 101,600, the value area high at 106,200. Kind of, we broke out of that this week. And also as well, we're looking as if I would prefer it to come back down to 106,200 to do another test as support. Because obviously you just got that, and that was just all on bullish price action. So kind of there's one of the zones that I'm looking for a back test long, kind of 104.8 to 105.2 at this point. If we just flip down to like the 4 hour, we can just quickly go in here. You can see we're starting to get quite a lot, quite oversold. 4 hour green dot is printing, but for the most part, we still stuck within. So if we just zonalize this, kind of we in this zone, right? Kind of this is kind of the zone I'm looking for. So if we consolidate here, that's fairly bullish, right? Because obviously we're consolidating alongside a value area high, which we just broke out of. So for the most part, I'm thinking like this 106, kind of very bullish, 106.2, bump and go, kind of not so bullish. We kind of have somewhere between anything from like 102 up to 105, give or take. But I'm thinking just because the way, obviously it's low volume, it's a holiday weekend, 3-day weekend, so it could be, it could still be a bit of kind of scammy price action. Locally, if we just look at what's happened over the weekend, quick, we've just, literally been ranging, and we've, just ranging, not really putting in highs, or lows, not really putting in highs, so for the most part, it's not really giving me any concern.
Is this echoing again?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
an
it's
echo,
an echo.
Tony.
Tony, you're echoing. I'm hearing DDT twice.
It's gone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
we're
gone.
good.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Nothing to be concerned about just yet. Obviously, the bullish level to hold is 106,200, this value area high. That should be locked. But otherwise, I'm looking kind of 104.8. Ideally, kind of to remain fully bullish, I wouldn't really want to lose the POC. But yeah, it's just literally going sideways. The weekend's not really done all that much. If we're just looking at EMAs, literally we've just been trending down on the 250 EMA on the 15-minute, which is kind of a lower time frame trend really to the downside. I'm not really concerned that kind of all the bullishness is over just yet. I think on the higher time frames we still got, obviously we've had such a big year that we're quite far away from like the really high time frame EMAs or kind of dynamic supports. We've just kind of landed on the 50 EMA on the 4 hour. Where kind of levels to the upside, if it just starts moving back up here, I'm targeting here, between 110.4 and 111 as a back test of a lower high, if it's going to be a lower high. But obviously got my two lower zones for Bitcoin, also kind of looking kind of, the 106.2 or kind of 104.8 to 105.200 as kind of zones for at least the next day or two to see if we come down and find either support or rejection. At this point as well, basically what I try and also do is, obviously we like to snipe entries, but ideally what I want is I want the 15 minutes to flip bullish. And for me, the 15 minutes to be bullish, the 50 EMA has to be above the 200 EMA. So you have to have a golden cross. So ideally what I would wait for is something like that before I before I went long again. But obviously, as well, tomorrow in the UK is a holiday, and I think tomorrow in America, or today's a holiday. So we've only really got Asia session that's open tomorrow because UK session and I think US session is closed. So still low volume. I think probably Asia session Monday going into Tuesday is, or for me going into Tuesday, is probably where we would see kind of the actual kind of the weekly setup as that, like the 3 day swing trade for the week. But barring that, yeah, that's kind of all Bitcoin's really doing. I'm not really concerned. Obviously, one other thing to mention, tooting my own horn a bit. I did say Sailor was buying. I caught it as to how he was buying. So Vector's on the TWAPs, the time weighted average price. So it's a given. And then a few hours later, Sailor was saying he was buying. So I'm kind of getting better at spotting where the institutions are kind of coming in. So yeah, that's just me tooting my own horn there a bit, but I caught that, and I've caught that because one of my friends taught me it. So it's something I can obviously maybe go through in Discord if anyone wants to get interested in kind of figuring out how institutions buy or kind of sailors buying. I can just share some insights. But yeah, not much on Bitcoin. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted me to look at. I don't know what the agenda is for the rest of the evening, but happy just to leave it at Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're
also
in
as well.
we're
At this
in
point,
flux DDT, you know,
Yeah.
so we're kind of Jimmy's in the air. I'm out here. I just got into Vegas, so we kind of had a little bit of on the go kind of planning. But no, anybody else have anything? I definitely wanted to see what was going on with Bitcoin because I've been in the air and I hadn't had a chance to really catch up with it. So that was great. Can you take a peek?
DDT, Billy, I
DDT.
got something. I got something for DDT real quick on the Bitcoin thing before we move on,
Yeah,
if that's
man.
okay.
Sure.
So DDT, I noticed if you look at the daily on Bitcoin, it's basically if you measure back from that from that double top all the way to where we're here now, that looks like a megaphone pattern. Is that right or wrong? I mean, to me, it looks like a megaphone pattern.
from the all-time, I'm not really good on patterns, but let me just get a cleaner chart quick. Just hard indicators here.
I have like 4 screens open right now, but I could show mine.
Yeah, would you share yours just to show me? But I was thinking it's more of a
Let me see
cup
if
and
I
handle, like a very big cup and handle. Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But also as well, kind of even in that, you can see that it's not. It obviously is rejecting there. The way it was rejecting there was also it was like a fib extension. You could call it kind of institutional monies, obviously, or whales. They obviously want these fake outs of the all-time highs. You're never going to go like literally hit a new all-time high and then carry on going. It's
Mhm.
generally never the case. There is always either a little bit of consolidation or kind of a small pullback after every all-time high. And I know a lot gets sneaky with it, where I've also kind of done that as well. Like here, this one. So the one about 2 weeks ago on the 12th, where we got that wick up, I shorted that. And yeah, so you can catch quick moves, or obviously on swing failure patterns with the all-time highs. But yeah, there's at this point, it's just looking like a very big cup. It's not got a handle yet. But that's all kind of pattern-wise, I could say. And also as well, we've not really lost, at least the daily and the 4-hour trend is literally just by, if I'm eyeing it, we've not really lost it. So it's still all good for now. Bitcoin is starting to move up a bit now. But also as well, patterns, they can play out, but it's more that the recognition is there, I think, and that's when kind of you will say the pattern will play out, is because a lot more people will look at it. Although it's not necessarily the way that I trade anymore, it's definitely there because, like, obviously cup and handles play out, Adam and Eve's, even Adam's head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, kind of the more common patterns. Megaphone being one, yes, that could play up. So obviously, I think that all-time high wick where it got to on your charts, Redman, I think that's kind of the key resistance of that megaphone. But kind of if anyone is playing pattern type of trading, you would want to break and retest. So you want to obviously go above that resistance, come back test it as support, and then go. And it's the same thing with me with this like 106 200 level. It was literally too quick a move off the back test. Obviously, everyone saw the break, and then literally just hit a lot of FOMO, or not FOMO. A lot of savvy traders would have known it's a break of a key level, set a limit, because if it back tests, it's going to hold generally. One thing as well, kind of the 106 200 level ish is also a previous weekly high. There's a lot of static levels, or kind of static horizontal levels, where we've broken and started kind of stepping up and moving up away from on back test as well, which is for me good for price action. It's not lit, or in general, it has been straight up with very little pullback. But if you're watching key horizontals as well, you're finding that it'll back test the key horizontal and then go, which is kind of where kind of I've seen that the price action has been, especially with this week, I would say it's been a lot healthier, where like the last few weeks from April, it's literally, apart from the consolidation sideways, I've kind of not been too happy with the price action. At least with this week's price action, I can kind of see that it's respected the levels a lot better and kind of had the back tests. Like this one, yeah, on the, if you look at the 15-minute on this, on the 106 200, see broke, retest, broke that high, retest, come back, another quick wick. So obviously big institutional players were waiting there, right, for a three tap on a resistance breakout. You sold, like, we haven't really had those type of opportunities literally in the trend, earlier in the trend. So it kind of suggests that the trend is slowing down, but also as well, it also suggests that that there's big institutional interest here, because we've had quite a few wicks into it, kind of specifically on the lower time frames. So that's kind of what I was thinking, that it's the kind of key level to hold at this point. We've got to see how the weekly candle is as well. I don't know if I've showed the weekly candle, but the weekly candle is, oh, don't do this to me now. Oh, sorry. Let me just hide everything.
And I know Tony had something for you.
So yeah, the weekly candle is like, yeah, it's not quite a doji, but like a shooting star, give or take. But obviously, it's not quite a shooting star as well. It's obviously indecision because there's been heavy sell pressure above the all-time high. But apart from that, also as well, the nice thing with that is that the bottom of the weekly candle actually retraced the previous week a bit. So obviously, it picked up all the liquidity left behind in the previous week to go higher. So that for me kind of suggests that it's a lot more healthy. Where you see here on the, like, these two candles, these two weeklies barely retraced. I think it retraced like a 32.8, a 30, what's it, 0.32, whatever it is, a 328 kind of this candle, which is, it is bullish, but also, well, it's not kind of ideal in how I see price action. But yeah, Tony, over to you if you have any questions or anything as well. Sorry.
No, I think Billy wanted us to see if we can go through some Cardano. Of course, we love Cardano, so let's go through Cardano first. And really, what I was going to ask you a question was when we get to our topic, when we start talking on the next topic, I think I'd love your input too as well. So let's take a look at Cardano, if you don't mind bringing that up, and then we'll get into that.
Got to always check out Cardano, man. Got to see what's going on with Cardano. Well, you're doing it. Hey, Blocky, good to see you, Blocky.
Bitcoin pumping right now.
Yeah, Bitcoin's moving up, which is good. But the thing is as well, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance is coming back up. Maybe for a bearish retest, hopefully, before it breaks down. But for the most part, weekly, yeah, I'd have daily. Yeah, some of these alts are just getting chopped up with the Bitcoin price action. Some obviously moving a lot better. But, you know, I have... So at this point, this is a fairly decent. I've had a few of these that can go there. So let's just take these out. Neaten up. So here you got previous week, kind of these like static levels that I say that it's obviously I'm using volume profiles, but kind of the general range trading static levels. So your weekly levels, which is your previous weekly high, previous weekly low, and then your Monday range, which is kind of set you up for your week trade. It's literally just come back. It's rejected this DNPOC kind of, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago and kind of hit a small downtrend. It's in this profile here. And then I'll just switch over to money flow and just see what's happening on markets FOB. So it's basically in that range there. Let's just put this to a zone. So this is the kind of profile I would trade it in. It's still struggling with 82 cents. I think I did mention as well a while ago that obviously 92 is the key level for it to see higher again. But obviously it's got this range here. I think with a lot of else as well, kind of just personally speaking, I think I would hope that for the most part, some of them are coiling up, because obviously a lot of them are like in this type of situation where you have a higher time frame profile above it, and then it's formed a profile or range below, kind of quite a big consolidation and accumulation. So the thought is if we eventually do get this Bitcoin dominance breakdown, that some of these alts are going to catch mad bids and actually start moving. Cardano, I think, would be one. Obviously, it's probably going to be part of the stockpile, and it's fairly bullish, right? And also as well, I think now kind of something to comment as well how blockchain security is becoming a big thing. It's one of the blockchains I think that's like never been hacked. There's no issues with it. Like obviously you see all the news with all the things happening with hacks and that type of stuff. Cardano, it's just non-existent just because it's a decent blockchain basically. So where are we now? It's looking, yeah, the VWAP on the daily is not really going to look that good. Weekly, sorry, what was the weekly kind of looking like? Weekly doji, kind of star. 4 hours daily, 4 hour. You probably find this was a local golden pocket. Yeah, hit a local golden pocket there. This zone there's a local golden pocket. Yeah, it's come back for the Monday highs, previous weekly highs. 4 hours just had the green dot. 8 hour. 6 is probably printing a green. Yeah. 30-minute. So yeah, it's looking good. At the lower time frame, money flow needs to come up a bit. Apart from the 15-minute already being green, I would like to see the 24 and the 30-minute cross green. It probably will need to break these highs here, which I would hope. It's trying to break out now. So this red line.
Let's go.
So yeah, I think.
If Bitcoin rolls, I think we'll see it pop back to 80.
Yeah, so it's kind of got a pivot. This is obviously a different, kind of different way of trading, but pivot highs are just kind of key highs and lows, or swing highs and lows based on the time frame. It's looking like it wants to break out. It's obviously got now a vector candle as well in the 30-minute. Yeah, it's rejecting. Yeah, obviously people have set sell orders or TPs there. So yeah, at this point, it's got this. Let's just put a small range here. Let's see if it's rejecting the value area. Yeah, it's kind of rejecting the value area low of the small side range. Although I don't necessarily like. Yeah, oh, it's rejecting a POC. That's even better. If you were in a long and you caught the long literally off the daily open, or kind of even lower earlier today, caught the long kind of off here around 72, 73 cents. This probably would be a TP zone, so as well, it's probably why you can see all the kind of the wicks. These wicks now sell off TP. Upside probably looking next kind of point of call will be this level here, about 8.76 cents, just based on the kind of local profile. Key level to hold now. So hopefully Bitcoin starts moving up. Key level to be hold would probably be 74.7. I don't know necessarily. So yeah, the one thing with Cardano as well, I think a lot of people can agree on, is that it trades well in a range. So it's not a coin that moves a lot, but it can give you consistent gains if you trade it kind of consistently within the ranges that it trades in. So yeah, at this point, sorry, that needs to be more.
Yeah, you buy at 70, sell at 78. Buy at 70, sell at 78. Buy at
Yeah,
70, sell at, it's you know, it's
like, because also as well, there was a range, I think, from like 69 to 78. Yeah, probably 70, 78. I think I had it at like 69 cents or something.
I mean, that's the safe. That's the safe. Yeah. I mean, you could get down to 69 to 81 or something like that. But
Yeah.
Really, if you want to be safe about it, you know, it's been good. I've been trading it. It's been good.
So yeah, there's not really too much to go off. Obviously now what you would want kind of in the next few days is a green dot. I think the 90-minute money flow. Green dot on the daily, 90-minute money flow will probably be creeping up by that time. So yeah, it could be a good long, just depends on what Bitcoin does. And just because of the way how it trades, it could also be a good long for that reason as well. It's not gonna be one of these coins that scams you. Like you'll get in and then it literally will just plummet like 10% and go on a stop hunt, right? If you're trying to get along. So kind of for that reason, it's also a good coin to trade. Kind of obviously not financial advice, but kind of when you look at kind of how it trades, how the price action is generally on a coin, it's less volatile and just moves with less volatility. So there's a few coins. Obviously, XRP is another one. Chainlink. But obviously, when you be a bit more degen and you try to trade like a meme coin, you've got to be very careful because you can just have violent wicks up and down. But yeah, just 74 to 76 cents for now. Up to 80 cents. The lows at 70. So it's kind of mid-profile at this point. Money flow would suggest at this point, based on what I'm looking at, it's probably going to go sideways between probably 73, 74 and maybe 77 cents. But the key thing is basically just waiting on the Bitcoin dominance. I think it was starting to push up yesterday. If that starts kind of rolling over, then Cardano could, or kind of most altcoins could catch some bids and kind of have a catch up with Bitcoin.
Yep. Good job. Good job, DDT. Thank you. Alex O, good to see you, brother. Scott, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yep, Alex, I'm in Vegas right now at the Luxor. Jimmy's in the air. So we're getting ready. We're getting ready for that great big hug, brother. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see everybody. It's gonna be some fun times. Unfortunately, Princess just told us in chat that her what am I trying to think? What's passport? Her passport expired. So, or she had some issue with it. So she was coming, and but now she's not coming. So that's too bad. It's going to be great to meet Princess in real life. But next time. Crypto Farmer, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So Tony, what was you going to do? I saw that you had something you wanted to transition into. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I think that the audience has been asking to open the club. So why don't we do a little club before we jump into our next topic?
You better have Jimmy push the button from 38,000 or 30,000 feet. Is he listening?
Hold on, I'm getting a message from Jimmy right now. He said,
No.
Column, rebel are the number one sound. Right now, not now. Baby, tonight.
and that's better than my old favorite DJ Bobby Ray. So that one's better than Bobby Ray, I think. So DJ Billy's got it going on. Got
Tony,
hair on my head.
nobody's catching your little hint there that you're dropping about
That's okay.
Bobby Ray.
That's okay. They don't need to catch it. They just need
Squirrel
to
shine.
It's a long rollout, Dave. It's okay.
Drink that squirrel shine.
So
Can't wait to meet Bobby one day.
someday. So let's add some jalapeno flair to your portfolio. Don't spend all your Bitcoin on pizza today, but maybe grab a slice to celebrate this last week's Bitcoin Pizza Day. Let's spice it up while stacking some stacking sats while the FOMO's hot. So let's get into this Bitcoin Pizza Day discussion that we had prepped. There's a whole bunch of people searching for it. I think Dave helped us realize that there was a 700% spike in the Bitcoin Pizza Day discussion. What do you guys got to say about that? How about you in the audience? Put some stuff in the chat. Tell us if you had some.
Tony.
I think the guy was just hungry. You know, he was hungry. He found a different way to pay for pizza, and it turned out to be the most prolific Bitcoin buy in history. And I think it did great for Bitcoin. You know, so it showed that they could send it peer to peer, and that was the first major step.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
that's what it's all about right there, is the proof that you can actually pay for something else without the US dollar, right? So yeah, I think that there you go, proof of work, Tony, like we talk about. I mean, it wasn't about, we always talk about the value because that's over like 1.2 billion today, 10,000 Bitcoin. But it really was the validation, the fact that this can work. You can actually do this. And I think it's awesome. I think it's easy for me to remember. It's the day before my son's birthday. So it's always on the 22nd. My son's the 23rd. So it's like, pizza day. So that's just something that I can always remember. But yeah, man, I think maybe we'll start having a pizza party on that day. It's like a lot of these groups do, right? There's a lot of different groups out there that actually have pizza parties and stuff. And maybe we should start doing something like that just to celebrate it, because it's part of history. It's part of Bitcoin history, man. And we're all in this, and it's fun to celebrate some of the things that really, really changed the world. And that was proof of work that in the end, 100 years from now, it's going to be like that changed the world. I mean, blockchain changed the world. Bitcoin changed the world. So it's pretty impressive.
So,
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
and you think about how many projects that came after Bitcoin claiming that they were going to do the same thing that Bitcoin did, and it just shows how special Bitcoin is, because it is in a class by itself.
Yep.
Yeah. So I asked Grok about the guy, and I kind of asked, hey, does the community do anything for him? Is there a wallet for him or anything like that? And Grok kind of got mad at me. He said at the end of our conversation, he's like, look, I don't know why people, the narrative around him seems sometimes oversimplifies his history, focused on the lost fortune rather than his intentional role in providing or improving Bitcoin's utility. There's no indication he's struggling financially, as some might assume, nor does he seem to need donations given his stable career and philosophical acceptance of his early spending. His whereabouts and current role in tech suggest he's living a grounded life, still connected to Bitcoin as a hobby rather than as a speculative venture. So, I mean, a lot of people overlook that he created the first Mac OS client, and that he was one of the pioneers in GPU mining, period. So he had an intentional role. I think sometimes we overlook and he looks at it as, I spent that money on purpose. That was my donation to this ecosystem, one of my donations, and he's got several others.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he created that spark, and everybody remembers him. And of course, people will say, "Oh, that would have been worth 1.1 billion or per slice, or $11 billion." But still, like you guys are saying, it's something that sparked and helped people get adopted. And even nowadays, it's bringing more people back into crypto. And then when all the hype and all the memes are going out, it's actually bringing a lot more retail people in to start doing some research and learning about crypto. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
And
and
one-
software engineers are some of the smartest people in the whole world. Like they know how to build stuff. They know how to make nothing into something. they're smart people. So he's definitely not struggling. And a lot of people I think that he's struggling. They just picture some guy in a pizza shop somewhere, so poor because he bought some pizzas, but that's not the case.
Sure. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So what do we have next, guys? What do you want to do now? Hey, chat, what's going on? We are going to get into, I think we have Redman about ready to share a little bit about his book. For those of you that don't know, the Billy Goat Tales team has written 2 children's books. We're actually going to write a 5-book series. And so Redman wrote just the most recent one, and we love it.
Oh, Tony Freeze.
Tony froze.
And I
Tony!
feel sometimes one
There
boy and the
he is.
wise wolf, but did y'all lose me? So the tricky
did
wolf
for a
and the wise
second.
wolf. Redman, why don't we do the intro, Dave, and see if we can get Redman to come talk about the book, our most recent.
Smooth as butter. Hot knife through butter, bro.
So here at Billy Goat Tales, we believe in giver's gain, and part of that giver's gain is giving back to the community. And I feel like this book gives back to the community. It gives parents, it gives the people that know about Bitcoin, and this is a book about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the centerpiece in this book. But much more is that this book is going to teach people how to talk to kids about Bitcoin and what to do. So that way when they get to the investing age, they know what not to do. And so a big part of that is doing your own research, and that is a big part of this book. Billy's book too. Billy's book is about a scammer delete, right? A person that wants to pull the wool over somebody's eyes so that he could steal their Bitcoin. And that's another great lesson. And we're here. We're all about teaching lessons here at Billy Goat Tales. And this book is full of that. And as you guys know in the chat, you guys know where to grab this book. And on Amazon, the link is on my Twitter page. And it will also take you to Billy's book as well. Billy's book will be mentioned in there too. So if you want to grab those 2 books,
Just go to our website. That's where our website.
Yeah, you can go to our website. They're both priced the same. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got, Tony.
Yeah, man. And Jimmy's working on his.
I've started working on mine now too. So
Okay.
I gotta
wait.
see what he's doing before. I don't want to do the same type of topic. You never know. Sometimes as we're doing creative things, sometimes we can easily kind of mind meld with somebody else just from conversations we have and maybe come out with something else, right? So got to make sure it doesn't sync up with the same type of topic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Well, you inspired us, Billy, to do this, and I'm excited for the journey to become a children's book author. And then obviously we've got our NFT book that you all heard about earlier, and you can jump in and find out more about that on our website as well.
Yeah. From basically when we started Billy Goat Tales, one of the original things we wanted to do was educate children. And man, I want to tell you something. It was over there in Inmates, Martin, that that like synced it up for us, right? He like when I was talking to him about what Billy Goat Tales is all about, and I was explaining to him our mission and what we stand for, and it was a little abstract, right? It was like nobody else was really doing anything like that from a standpoint of a giver's gain philosophy and helping people just without asking for anything in return. And he made the connection, man. So I got to kudos to Martin. Say, man, it sounds like this whole children's book thing is something you guys should focus on. So it's really like I don't have an original idea. I always take the best ideas from other people in my circle, and I just build upon them, right? So credit where credit goes there, man. So kudos to Martin.
Well, we're going to jump in to talk a little bit about our next topic, which is talking about the crypto stablecoin bill, the Genius bill, guiding and establishing the national innovation for U.S. stablecoins. This bill's hotter than a habanero pepper. Don't let it burn your stack. Keep an eye on stablecoins like USDT. They're your crypto salsa, but make sure you don't spoil with some rotten bags and rotten regs. So let's get into it. Billy's like, what is going on here? I'm taking the Tex-Mex Biomex flair and adding it to what we're doing a little bit, Billy. Maybe I'll get some feedback.
I step away from one day.
Yeah, we were supposed to just be the cats today, but here comes Billy.
I know
Yeah.
he's monitoring. Well, what do y'all think about this Genius Act? It's being debated and it's passed. I think the Senate, not as far as voting, but it's passed the what's that called? The legislative review or something. It's past one of the stages before it actually goes out for a vote for the House and the Senate. But what do y'all think about it?
Subcommittee. Yeah. I this is, we dreamed about this stuff, guys. I mean, 4 years ago, everything that's happening, we wished it would happen, right? And we thought, wow, when this happens, it's just going to validate Bitcoin and this whole crypto space. And now it's actually happening right in front of it. And we're living it. We're living in these times, man. It's hard for people to really see beyond the moment, but I'm telling you, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, like these are going to be the times that people are going to look back at us and say, man, you guys were there for this. Like you guys were there. You went through it. You were part of it, man. It's really going to be a pivotal time in our lives, man. It's going to be important in the history of the world, not just the history of the United States and the history of the world, man. It's what's happening here is just incredible, and I'm just proud and happy to have a small little microscopic sliver of it, man. It's just amazing. So I'm all for it. I think it's really good. We'll see how it all plays out, but it's looking good.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of this, it although don't get it twisted, I'm definitely happy that we are getting regulation, but at the same time we got to look at the other side of the coin, and the other side of the coin says it's going to be bad for innovators in the long run, because they're going to be giving all of the they're going to put all the chips into financial institutions that have been here already. So it's actually going to may stifle growth. I don't want to say that for sure, but in the end, it could prevent some people from, it could prevent some decentralization, and it could make things more centralized, and which is what the government wants. Obviously, the government wants a license plate on every wallet. They want to know every transaction. They want to know, and like I said last week, with attaching these cards to these wallets, just this week, now EliPay has a card attached to their wallet. Well, now the government can use that to track my transactions, although they're not criminal in nature. Well, I don't want, that's my privacy, right? That's my business. That's not the government's. And so I think we're looking at price action. We're going to tend to look at price action more than we look at privacy and I think that there'll be some things that we're giving up in the long run that could be, you know, a bad in the long road. So
Yeah, I think there's going to be some spots where you're going to see weaknesses in decentralization, but also at the same time, that's what DeFi is based off of. Is you got to have stable coins, you have to have Tether, you have to have Circle in order to do anything on DeFi. If you're going to farm, if you're going to do even if you're going to trade, you have to have some sort of other asset like a stable coin. That's where we do everything on. Nobody really trades their ETH BTC pair, or not very many people actually trade ETH versus BTC, or virtuals versus BTC. Nobody really does that I know of. You got to use stable coins. So, the worries are just, are they as stable as they say they are? So maybe we do need the regulation to say, hey, look, you got to show us your books, Tether. I mean, if you screw up, that can be catastrophic to us. So, I mean, I think there is a need for transparency.
Yeah, and the bill might bring some stability to U.S. markets and get a lot of institutional money in, but there's always the flip side of that, of what are we giving away by doing that. And what do you all think of the Trump's family ties to that with the USD1 stablecoin and the $2 billion Emirati deal? What do you all think about that? It's been raising conflicts of interest concerns on X, depending on which side you talk to.
I mean, I think it's fair game. I don't understand all the politics. I understand that people that do monopolies and have all this other control is bad, but I mean, it's a stable coin. I mean, why not let him do it? Why not? If he's going to have an exchange, why not? I mean, you have to have something to run your exchange on. I mean, should he not have a chance just because he's going to sacrifice 8 years of his life to be president? Should he not have a chance to be one of the first movers in crypto? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the ethics are behind it. I could see where obviously his choices and decisions are going to affect his business, but I mean, that's just the hand he got dealt. So why not let him play it?
Well, I think there's already, in the political arena and spectrum, I think there's already a ton of rules, regulations, laws regarding what a sitting president or even a senator or congressman can do, what they have to disclose, and what they can't do. So that's been there for a long time, and the kind of the degen black side of all it, the dark side of all this, I guess, is we know, whether you're Republican or Democrat, I mean, we know that all those lawmakers get the 411 info and they make a fortune off of it. Trump is putting it out there, full disclosure, and has companies and businesses that above board, in which he's openly and forwardly, not behind the scenes, not in the hidden meetings, just out there doing it and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And I believe in the cryptocurrency space and what digital currencies and what blockchain means. And I'm going to put my money behind it and take some risk and build some businesses around blockchain. However, if you're an anti-Trumper, this is just another arrow in the quiver, man, because most of the people try to hide that, right? Try to disguise it, try to do it without us seeing it. And that's why all these politicians become millionaires, multimillionaires after 4 years in office, 8 years in office. And one thing about Trump, he's already a billionaire. So, I mean, I don't know. I can see both sides of it, but from just a pure political play, there's already rules and regulations about it. And
yeah, I like political satire, and the United Spot had a good video out just the other day about Nancy Pelosi talking about how she's so poor, and they're like, "Didn't you make all this money on your investment?" No. I don't know. If you like political satire, no matter what side of the spectrum of the political spectrum, then you can enjoy that. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I took a different approach on this. You know, I'm a Trump guy. I don't always agree
No.
with I don't always I don't always agree with what he does though, Billy. And I didn't agree with him launching a Trump meme coin. I didn't agree with him launching a Melania meme coin. I thought it was a horrible move for the space. It was a horrible move for him. And I thought it was just a poor decision. Yeah, he make out like a bandit? Remains to be seen. But I just think I think it's bad for crypto. Yeah, it's making money. We're in a capitalistic society. He's well within his right to do so. But on this one, I think he kind of struck out. And so, but hey, I've been backing him since 2016, you know, and it hasn't been the easiest at times, and I've had to explain myself with my family and stuff like that. But that's okay. It just helped me learn a lot more about what's going on and be more educated. And
For me, it's about if it's above board or not. To me, it's about don't do it behind the scenes and say you're not doing it, only to find out years later that you did make a fortune because you had the information before everybody else and you jumped. To me, it's like I would prefer what if you're a president, Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. If you're president, just openly disclose it. This is what you're going to do, and be open about it. Be truthful. Be transparent about it. As long as the laws that are in play say that you can do that, and you're open about it and truthful and just out there, I'm good with it. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is. On the flip side, I don't like the acting like, oh no, I'm not getting that information. Oh, I'm not investing in that, and and then you find out later they are. That's what I don't like. But yeah, it
Yeah,
is new. It is new. I mean, you don't see presidents. That's why he gets a lot of heat, right? He's like, oh hell with it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what you guys would consider a fortune, but just I think in the last 10 days or so on fees, the project has made $350 million worth just on fees. So, I mean, if you take a normal person, you ask a normal person, what do you need to never have to work again? What's good enough money, or what's more than enough money? People would say oftentimes 50 million. Obviously, that number could be a lot smaller for a lot of us, but a lot of people would say 50 million. So in the last 10 days, they took care of 7 people's whole life. If they live super extravagant. I mean, it's wild. And that seems
Gotta
legit to
talk
me.
about
If you have the
inflation.
project, why couldn't you make the fees?
I think let's not get it twisted though. I think Trump is great for crypto. I think Trump has brought about. I think like Billy talks about that wheel spinning. I think he got the wheel spinning, and I think he's going to continue to do so. And I think they're going to come up with more regulation, which means that those centralized financial institutions are going to be bringing their money into the space, and that's great for us. That's great for the early adopters. And we are still early. We are still very early. I honestly 100% believe that. If somebody came to me today and asked me what, where should I put my money? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, but Bitcoin is always your safest bet. So I will always stand by Bitcoin no matter what. So I just want to let everybody know that.
And if you do own an NFT, you can join Red for Red's research, where he doesn't give more financial advice.
Well, I think this Trump's dinner was spicier than a Chipotle and adobo chicken sandwich. So don't get burned by the Trump coin volatility.
So, Spicy
So
Tony, what do you think about?
How many
Go ahead.
how many of you guys knew that Trump coin was launching? How many of you guys knew?
Well, we
I
didn't
didn't
believe
know.
it.
I told him it was like $30.
Everybody thought it was a scam. Well, me and David thought it was a scam, but
Yeah, that day it was like 24 hours later, and it already ripped when we found out that, like Piper, he validated pretty quick and said, "Yeah, I want to do it," and jumped in. But I didn't think it was real. I wasn't sure, right? It was just because they were having the crypto event, and even the people at the event didn't even know. And
right.
but it turned out to be
Legit.
The real deal, you know. And from just a pure degen buy a meme coin play, just no different than Dave's favorite coin, Farcoin, that he always brings up.
I love
Look,
that coin.
those people that jumped in early, I mean, they made millions. I mean, so from just a pure gambling, you know, you can do it in crypto kind of thing, right? You know, they made a ton of money. I'm can't fault them for that, man. I just didn't think it was real. But, oh my gosh.
It's real.
You guys certainly did not expect me today. I can just tell, like it's
Dave
like
had
a
it lined
snow
up.
day. It's like a snow day. It's like,
That's what we thought anyway. And then Dad shows up. Here we are trying to have a party with alcohol and girls, and here's Dad.
the only thing would have made it better if Jimmy was in here, right? Because then it would totally be derailed, right? Jimmy.
We had Jimmy on speed dial from the nudie bar, but then you showed up, so we had to tell him cancel.
Oh goodness gracious,
Oh,
man!
Here we are laughing on stream.
Can you believe it, Red? How dare we? What else you got, Tony? You're running the show today. You're the
This
guy.
rally's hotter than a serrano pepper. Don't get caught in the dip. Hold tight, but watch out. The 107,000 support is like you guarding your last taco. You gotta watch out.
All right, can you restate all that in a normal way and tell me what the topic is?
This rally's hotter than a serrano pepper. Don't get caught on the dip. Hold tight, but watch that 107K support level like you're guarding your last taco. That's what I mean. What does it mean by that? That means watch for the dips on Bitcoin. You got to, you know, I know we're all long on Bitcoin, especially long term, but just make sure you're watching the TA and watching your action. You know, obviously DDT gave us some insights earlier. Dave's got his charts on it behind him. But you know, the price action hit 111K, not unlike our Givers Gain 111, which is you know, after Hebrews 11:1. So you know that was a pretty nice thing to say that it hit 111K after the day previous. It had also hit 2 all-time highs, and I shared that I had gone to Domino's Pizza that day.
Do we have that video?
Yeah. The Economic Times, it says that it's some of that pump is driven by ETF inflows, institutional buying, and regulatory clarity. And Google Trends was saying that the Bitcoin all-time high searches were up 350%. You know, so maybe there's some FOMO, people jumping in.
Tony, do you have that video queued up? Your pizza video?
I don't. It's a short on our Givers Gain 111 channel. You can look at. There's a couple videos.
So I have to
One of them-
ask, it seems to be one of the main questions on all the serious, very serious crypto channels, Tony. Did
Sure.
you have pineapple on your pizza?
No.
Does it
Pepperoni
belong
and
on
mushroom.
pizza? Oh,
Pepperoni and mushroom.
mushroom, horrible.
Gotta have
All right.
mushrooms.
We'll
Like
forget
if I
it.
was picking
And
my
little
favorite
bacon.
pizza, it would be pepperoni and mushrooms and some banana peppers. But if somebody has a nice fresh Hawaiian pizza, I'm in. I'll eat that thing all up. I got no problem with Hawaiian pizza.
Through the all-time highs. Yeah, baby. I'm getting a pizza pie in honor of Bitcoin smashing through the all-time highs. Yeah, baby.
Why did you pick Domino's
Thanks,
though, Tony? Why didn't you have some decent pizza? Like
I got
pizza?
you, Tony.
I was on base. It was right there. So I just got some. It was just like a spur of the moment instinct thing. I was right there. I was going to get a soda from the shopette, and they have a Domino's pizza there. So I got a small pizza and enjoyed it.
Really, he stopped in right out in front was the taco truck, and then it just happened to be in front of the Domino's. So
They
he's
have a good taco truck there on Fridays. So.
yeah.
I get the double guac. Got to get the double guac, man.
But like, you ever get Canadian maple jalapeno bacon on a pizza, man? You're gonna love it. It is awesome. It's hard
There's
to
a lot
find
of-
that Canadian jalapeno bacon.
There's a lot of places that put hot oil on it now.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on the pizza. Was it Dave Digital took us down this? Yeah,
It was probably. I said, it's probably me. So MicroStrategies, or not micro, now it's called strategies. I don't like that name. I like MicroStrategies. It comes off the tongue a little easier, at least for me. But they stacked 765 million more Bitcoin. So, obviously they're stacking Bitcoin. What do you all think about the charts? Do you think we're going to go below 107, the key support? Or are you going to continue to go down? Or let's
Tony,
see.
what
there's
a weird
prediction.
question. Do you really want to know if we think we're going to go below 107? Do you mean ever? Do you mean right now? Do you mean on
No,
the
I mean
2
right
hour,
now.
the 4 hour?
Well, I mean, is the Bitcoin conference actually does Bitcoin pump before the conference and then dump during and after? That's what I want to know. Because a lot of people on X say that it does. There's a lot of people that over time have said, oh yeah, it always pumps before the Bitcoin conference and then dumps after or during. So that's really where I'm leading the question to.
So
I
without
think-
looking into it, it seems like it's done that several times notably. I remember at least watching on Bitcoin Miami and Bitcoin Nashville, and it seemed like we got dumps on both of those. But I'm not really, really sure. I can't say that I've been paying attention to it statistically, like looking at the charts, going back and back testing or doing any of that. But it seems like that's been a topic, as it seems like Sell in May has been a topic. But obviously, Sell in May this year would have kicked you in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did a little bit of talking with Grok myself. I can't say that all of this was dug up myself and solely by me, but I asked for a lot of macro information, and so does the price spike before and then crash? Well, in 2019, before the San Francisco conference, Bitcoin mooned to 14,000 as the conference began, fueled by crypto FOMO and Facebook's Libra hype. But then it crashed to about 9,000 by mid-July. Although China trade war tariffs and Beijing began cracking down, it might have spooked markets. So I'm not sure. We jumped forward to 2021. There was a conference. Where was that conference? Was that in Miami, Billy?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
It says Miami here. So Bitcoin was at 36 to 39,000 pre-conference. Riding some of that El Salvador Bitcoin legal tender wave, stayed steady and then down to 30,000 by late June. More sad trombone music. Where's that thing? But then again, China mining ban took place and tanked hash rates. So, and Trump was yelling from the sidelines. And then 2022, April 6th through 9th in Miami, there was no rocket emojis. The Bitcoin stood around 43 to 45 pre-conference and dipped to 40,000. So not a whole bunch right after, but then we dipped and crashed to 20,000 by year end. What do you remember? Y'all remember what 2022 was? It's been a few years now, but our friend SBF and the FTX collapse. That was a big crypto nuke that blew up in the crypto face. So not crypto face himself, obviously.
I remember that day, Tony, real quick. And
Yeah.
somebody needs to break Dave's fingers over there. He's just going nuts. But that April 6th is my birthday, and I got a picture in Miami at the 22 conference right under that clock that's right there on the main drag. And I remember walking down the street, checking my phone and seeing it. It is a Bitcoin conference, right? And seeing it just dipping. I was like, so it just stuck with me. It was like, gosh, man, we are celebrating Bitcoin at a lot of people at the conference, and this thing's just eating us up. So yeah, it kind of stuck in my head on that one. Sorry, go ahead. I know you're rolling through the years.
23 and 24, it actually, Bitcoin soared afterwards. I mean, in 23, we had the rally to 69,000 with some ETF approvals. And then 2024, we had those ETF approvals and then tariff debts. Let's see. So basically, we continued to rise in 2023, 2024. I don't know if there was a slight dip after, but leading up into this conference, we've already hit 108, and obviously we hit our all-time high. So I guess we're gonna have to project and see if after this conference we get a pull down or a pullback on Bitcoin.
Well, guys, with with that said, we know that Keith's show starts at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and so we got like 40 seconds left, and we want to respect them. Keith, you can see these party animals over here love sound effects. You got to get all these guys on Friday, your Friday stream. Just let them DJ out so they can get it all out of their system, so they can come on to Billy Goat Tales. So invite them on Friday and do your your Friday stream, which is really fun, laid back and loose. But with that said, guys, I think we need to head out of here and shoot them all over to Crypto Coin Mindset and Keith's channel. We appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we're going to be streaming a lot here from the show. Biomex gets in tomorrow. Jimmy's on his way. Red lives here, and Dave's going to be heading out too. So we can't wait to see you guys. Until next time, we will see you. Stay plugged in, because we're going to have lots of updates. We'll see you next
Take your
time.
profit, people. Take your profit.
Take your profit.
Take your profit.
We are Billy Goat Tales. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gang. 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 We are Billy Goat.